Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Grand Geek Teaser. I've been collecting comics and talking comic book related stuff since 1973. I am excited today because today, for the first time on my quaint little show, I will be talking about Doctor Who. I came a little late in Doctor Who. I think somewhere in Matt Smith's first season. I think I came in and then I went back and felt Tennant and then Eccleston, and then from there I went back to Classic Who. So, and I've been a fan ever since. I think I've seen every important classic one at least, or most of the classic Doctor Who. But that's not what prompted me to start this. Is that the BBC put out information this weekend, and I watched all my Doctor Who podcasts. I got my favorites. I got Who Culture, Fairies, and I got Confused Adipose. Just the ones that I personally liked. And we're all talking about the news that Doctor Who will have a Christmas special in 2026. This gives us something. This gives us hope. You could tell the Who fans are energized. We have something to look forward to finally. And then they even talked about, even going beyond. So, well, let's get started. It all starts with this man here, RTD. And as we say here in America, you either love or hate the man. But, his run, especially the new Disney Plus run, it wasn't all bad. It's been highly criticized, but it wasn't all bad. There were good concepts in there, and there were bad concepts in there. But I feel all the same, he really needs to tell a proper ending to his story, so we can just put a cap on that era. I guess the Gawa era, the Disney Plus era, whatever you want to call it. It deserves a chance. There were just so many obstacles between Ncuti quitting, and they had to change the ending, and this was all confirmed by Caroline Ford. Here she is, of course, in her role as Susan Foreman, which we sort of got robbed, right? I mean, there was a tease, something was going to happen, and we got robbed, and she had confirmed that, her last scene, she was going to be with Poppy and saying, okay, mother, let's go. And maybe more to it than that. I don't know, but he had bigger plans. It just never hit fruition. And then we got hit with, surprise, surprise, Billie Piper. At the end there, Rose returns. She's the TARDIS. She's the Doctor. Well, they didn't bill her as the Doctor, as we all know, right? Everyone's theory, and I agree with this too, that she's some representation of some living representation of the TARDIS, has to be. And I would imagine that David Tennant will be back, since he is still around out there with his own TARDIS. That would make a great special, because how can you have Rose without the Doctor? I mean, you just have to have that. In my mind, you're gonna have a Tennant and Billie Piper running around doing their thing, and at some point, she's the TARDIS, so she's seeking out the last Doctor, because when Ncudi's Doctor reset the universe, bi-generation is no longer allowed. And then you have to get Ncuti back somehow. And he always wants to fight the dogs. So you have the dogs trying to run around trying to stop them. But Tennant and Ncuti got to join together to form the new Doctor going forward. In my mind, that's what I would like to see. And I would like to see a name. I know the BBC budget's kind of tight, so there's to be someone who loves the role and not really looking for the money. It's more for the art, more for the honor. Easy for me to say. Someone maybe a little more well known. I like Daniel Radcliffe here. I know that won't be very popular, but I think I like what he's done. He's shown a varied. He played varied roles, and he's shown that he can definitely, I believe he'd be a competent Doctor. Now, as I was saying earlier, the BBC, they really got this out there because they're still looking for, I guess, a co-producer or executive partner. It's going to be either Amazon and Netflix are the most popular rumors, and that's important. So they got to get there. So there's love, there's passion. Who is not going away, even though we are stuck in this hiatus thing where we can't even do any comic books or novelizations because we just don't know who the Doctor is, because according to them, she's not the Doctor. Only Russell knows. So hopefully we'll get that. But going forward, I think it's very important, and they should have done this when they did with Disney. And I know there was licensing issues. Maybe they should have waited. But the next streaming service they want to partner with, they should have access to the whole catalog. It only makes sense because I came in late in the 70s. Believe it or not, I was a very young man and I had no interest in Doctor Who. I mean, it looked very strange to me. It was on PBS over here. That's a public station here in America. It was weird. It wasn't until years later I had a friend telling me about David Tennant and blah 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 blah. As I finally, checked in with Matt Smith, and I went back and I watched the episodes and I became a fan. And I liked Eccleston series so much, I went to go back and find out what was going on. So I watched Classic Who and I loved it. You just have to understand, Classic Who's made at a different time. It was at a different pace. It was more serialized, but still, it's the acting is there. You see where everything originated from. And that's my point. That's how I became a fan. I went back and I watched old episodes, and I will watch, and I would watch old episodes again, especially if, going forward, there's some sort of reference to the past. That was another thing that RTD kind of did. I was watching with my daughters. I think they were like 8 and 16 at the time, something like that. And they like shooting and everything like that, but then they reference the old stuff, and that's the kind of like where you lost them. You really have to find a good balance of you can bring in the old stuff, put a new spin on it, but you need some exposition or some clearer way to explain who they are, what they are. It was just a little rushed. But like I said, RTD had a lot of things going on there. But anyway, going forward, the point is going forward. Going forward, you need to have the catalog there. That's going to make a difference. You could also do the Adventures of the Fugitive Doctor. It could be a short little series. It doesn't have to be a whole big thing. Maybe you want to do a one-off movie. You just give us something, in between shoots between the new soon-to-be Doctor in 2026 or 2027, wherever this Doctor is going to appear. Another thing, if I was a streaming service or rather the BBC, I would recommend is doing something like Star Trek. Star Trek had the Ready Room? Walking Dead had the Talking Dead. Where you have a host who then either you go over behind the scenes or an interview with some of the prominent actors involved, and then the host could also recommend Classic Who to watch. Reference this show, you could watch this or that, and it doesn't even have to be a half hour. Then no money again. I know money's gonna be a problem. Give you maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Make it as short as possible. But you need a fan-friendly host. And you know what? I'm a fan of Ellie Littlechild. She should, from Who Culture. I consider her being the perfect host for that. She's energetic. She knows her stuff. And sorry guys, as I said, I like Darius and the Confused Outpost, but I would like to see Ellie host that Doctor Who thing. I'm excited. There is hope. There's future. I think RTD should just throw everything in the kitchen sink. It'll be his swan song. Supposedly, this will be his last, and I believe Bad Wolf also will be going after this. But go for it. Go out a bang. Hopefully, you can get Judy back for a cameo or something, and Tennant run around and just just close this chapter. Maybe personally on a good note. I can move forward, and I'm just really excited. All the videos I watched this week, and I keep saying over and over again, just really excited. There was so hope. I hated being in just limbo. It was just killing me. Anyway, so Whovians, there will be Doctor Who in the future, and hopefully it'll be really exciting. New Doctor going forward. So, guys, I guess that's pretty much it. Live long and prosper, and Nanu Nanu.